Drink driving. A life altered the promise I made when I was young. Still years away from learning to drive, I watched my mates stumble out of clubs and pubs with car keys in hand. I saw the recklessness, the false confidence, the way alcohol transformed reasonable people into dangerous ones. I made myself a promise that night. I would never become like them. I would never drink and drive. I swore I'd be different, smarter, safer. I remember the conversations with my friends, earnest warnings on my part, met with laughs and dismissals on theirs. They wave away my concerns with casual certainty. Oh, I do this all the time. I'm fine. It seemed so obvious to me then, the risk they were taking. I was certain I would never fall into that trap. Certain I was somehow immune to the poor judgment that afflicted others. The illusion of control. Then came my driving test. I passed. The weight of that achievement, the freedom that came with it, the shiny new license. It all felt like an invitation into adulthood. Within weeks, I was heading into the next town with my mates. Somewhere along the way, the line between celebrating and being reckless blurred into nothing. That's when I became them. The same friends who had once warned me as I grew older, the ones who understood the danger, began urging caution when they were in my car. Slow down, they'd say. You shouldn't do this. But I was cocky now, intoxicated by both alcohol and the false invincibility it created. I had said yes to every temptation I'd promised myself I never would. And when they begged me to pull over, to call a taxi, to do the right thing, I brushed them off with the exact same words that had once enraged me. I'd do this all the time. I'd tell them, gripping the wheel tighter, I'm fine. I wasn't fine. I was speeding toward a moment that would redefine my entire life. The split second it happened at 60 miles per hour. Something in the road. Maybe a pothole, maybe debris, maybe my own impaired reflexes finally catching up to me. The car skidded with a sickening loss of control, and then everything became noise and impact and the terrible sound of metal buckling. I crashed into parked cars with a force that should have killed me. Maybe it still is killing me, just slowly across all these years. My friend, someone I'd known for years, was gravely injured. In that moment, as adrenaline and horror flooded through me, I understood the true weight of my choices, not as an abstract concept or someone else's problem, but as a concrete reality of ruined metal and ruined bodies, and the terrifying knowledge that I had done this. I had promised myself I would never become that person, and I had become that person anyway. The long aftermath, 25 years have passed since that night, and I am still living with its consequences. The physical injuries were severe, but the body, for all its fragility, sometimes finds ways to heal. The mind does not. The disability that resulted from that crash follows me every day, a constant, unwelcome companion that has stolen abilities I once took for granted. Pain that doesn't leave. Limitations that reshape every choice. The simple fact of a body that no longer works the way it should. But the physical damage, terrible as it is, was not the worst of it. The mental health consequences have been relentless. Depression crept in and made its home in my mind. Anxiety joined it. The weight of guilt, not abstract guilt about what I might have done, but concrete guilt about what I did do, became something I carried every single day. Some days, that weight feels like it might crush me entirely. The isolation followed naturally from everything else. When you live with chronic pain and disability, when your mental health has been shattered, when you carry the shame of your own catastrophic mistake, people slip away. Not all of them maliciously. Sometimes they simply don't know what to say, or the friendship becomes too difficult to maintain. And sometimes, if I'm honest with myself, I push them away. It's easier to be alone than to let anyone close enough to see the person you become. The stigma is its own kind of injury. I made a stupid, dangerous choice, and that choice now defines how some people see me. I am the person who drank and drove. I am the person who crashed. I am the person whose recklessness hurt someone else. These labels stick to you like tar. They don't wash off. The impossible question 25 years is a long time to live with regret. It's long enough for a full childhood to happen, for someone to be born and grow into adulthood. It's long enough to forget what your life might have been. Sometimes I find myself trapped in memory, Thinking back to the person I was before that night, my mind was different then, sharper, quicker, full of possibilities I couldn't yet imagine. I look back at those days and feel the loss so acutely it can take my breath away. The person I might have become, the things I might have done, the dreams that seemed possible then, all of it ended on that road at 60 miles per hour. People tell me that looking back isn't healthy. They suggest I'm not satisfied with my life because I can't stop thinking about what was lost. They ask, what's the matter? Why do you dwell on the past? But how do you not look back when the past has claimed so much of your future? The truth is this. Every choice I made that night, to have those drinks, to get behind the wheel, to ignore my friends' pleas, to drive too fast, was made by me. No one forced me. No one held my head down and poured alcohol into my mouth. No one twisted my keys from my hand and threw me into the driver's seat. I made every single choice. And every consequence that followed has been mine to bear and will be mine to bear until the day I die. This is what drink driving took from me. My health, my mental well-being, my relationships, my future, my sense of self, my peace of mind. This is what it almost took. My life, and the life of someone who called me a friend. A message if you're young, and you've made the promise I made. Hold on to it. Not because you think you're immune, because you're not. None of us are. We're all equally capable of being reckless. We're all equally able to convince ourselves at this time. We're different, we're fine, we've got it under control. If you're out with mates and someone's been drinking and they're heading for the keys, fight for that moment. Stop them. Call them names if you have to. Call them a taxi. Call their parents. Be the person they might hate you for in the morning, because that anger is infinitely preferable to a phone call that changes everything. If you're reading this and you've already made the choice I made, already caused the damage I caused, I see you. I know what you're carrying. The weight of it is real, and it doesn't get lighter just because time passes. But there are people who can help, people who understand, people who've walked this path of regret and found ways to live with it. Please find them. Drink driving ends lives. It ended mine in nearly every way other than physical death. It nearly ended my friends. And it ends thousands of others every single year. It doesn't have to end yours.